My fiancée secretly planned a honeymoon with her ex using my money. When I found out, I dumped her and went on a solo vacation instead. I'm a 32-year-old guy, and honestly, I thought I had life pretty figured out. Good job, nice house, and a fiancée, let's call her Elle, who I was set to marry in 6 months. We'd been together for 3 years. It wasn't perfect, but I thought we had something real. I'd just gotten promoted, so financially, things were good too. I figured we were solid. Then Elle hit me with this idea. She suggested we take an early honeymoon before the wedding. It sounded weird at first. Who takes a honeymoon before they're even married? But she was all about it, saying it would help us relax before the chaos of wedding planning really ramped up. She wanted to go somewhere tropical, just the two of us, away from the stress. She was really pushing for it. At first, I didn't see any harm in it. A pre-wedding vacation didn't sound like the worst idea, and she was always the one with grand plans. She even said I didn't have to worry about the details, that she'd handle everything. I just needed to cover most of the costs since I had gotten a raise. Fine by me. I trusted her. We were getting married soon, right? What's there to worry about? But then, little things started feeling off. She got more secretive about her phone, turning it away when I walked by, shutting down conversations if I asked about the honeymoon plans. I asked what was up and she'd brush me off saying, I'm just trying to keep it a surprise. Fine, maybe I was being paranoid. Or maybe not. The red flags started stacking up. She was suddenly staying late at work a lot. And when I'd ask about her day, she'd get all defensive or vague, like she didn't want to talk. Every time I brought up the honeymoon plans, she'd act like it was no big deal, saying, it's all handled, you'll love it, trust me. But my gut wasn't buying it. Something was off, and I couldn't shake it. So, I did something I never went through her phone. Look, I felt like an asshole doing it, but I had to know what was going on. My gut was screaming at me. That's when I found the emails. She'd been emailing her ex, Jay. They'd been talking for months, maybe longer, and the topic of their recent messages? A honeymoon. Except it wasn't our honeymoon, it was theirs. They were planning a trip to the Maldives together, using my money to fund it. The money I thought was going toward a trip for us was actually going to a romantic getaway for them. I just sat there, staring at her phone, trying to process how messed up this was. My fiancée had been planning a secret trip with her ex, and she was using me to pay for it. I felt like a complete idiot. I didn't even know how long they'd been talking behind my back. The next morning, I didn't say anything. I wanted to see how long she'd keep the act going. I played it cool, pretended nothing was wrong, but every time I looked at her, I felt sick. She was still walking around, lying to my face, acting like everything was fine. A few days later, she told me she was going to finalize the honeymoon plans. I followed her. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy, but I had to see what was really going on. She didn't go to a travel agency like she said. Instead, she went to meet Jay at a cafe. I watched them from across the street, sitting there, laughing, flirting, looking way too comfortable for people who weren't supposedly together anymore. That night, when she came home, I finally confronted her. I asked her if she'd been talking to Jay. She hesitated for a second, just enough time for me to know she was about to lie, and then she said, no, why would I? I pulled out her phone, showed her the emails, and asked, what the hell is this? Her face went white. Then she tried to flip the script. How dare you go through my phone? She yelled, like I was the one in the wrong. She kept shouting about her privacy, completely ignoring the fact that she'd been planning a trip with her ex while we were supposed to be getting married. I let her yell, just waited for her to calm down before saying, you've been planning a honeymoon with your ex, using my money. Our trip was never real, was it? She tried to backtrack, saying it wasn't what I thought it was. It's not like that. Jay and I just need closure. It's not romantic. It's just about figuring things out. Figuring things out on a tropical island? With my money? I said, trying not to lose it. Then she hit me with the most entitled crap I've ever heard. You make more than enough. It's not like you're gonna miss the money. Besides, after this, I'll be sure about us. Isn't that what you want? For me to be fully committed? I stared at her, trying to wrap my head around what she just said. She thought I'd just roll over and let her use me, like I should be grateful she was trying to figure out if she wanted to stay with me. And to top it off, she genuinely believed she was entitled to my money because I could afford it. That's when I knew. I was done. I didn't yell, I didn't throw a fit, I just told her it was over. She didn't seem to believe me at first, like she was still in control, like I'd let her get away with this. But I was done. I packed my bags that night and left. Didn't give her a chance to say another word. I was out. The next day I called the bank and moved all the money out of the joint account. I canceled the honeymoon she'd been pretending to plan for us, and then I booked a solo trip for myself. If I was going to lose that money, I was at least going to enjoy it. I took that trip, went to the Maldives, and it was the best decision I ever made. There's something about lying on a beach, knowing you dodged a major bullet, that makes you appreciate being single again. But Elle wasn't done, not even close. Once she realized I wasn't coming back, she started pulling every trick in the book. First, it was guilt trips. Voicemails about how I was throwing away 3 years over one mistake and how I was overreacting. She tried to paint herself as the victim, saying a real man wouldn't abandon his fiancée over a misunderstanding. When that didn't work, she tried to show up at my place unannounced. She claimed she needed to pick up some stuff she'd left behind. Fine, I let her in. But instead of grabbing her personal things, she started packing up everything we'd bought together. Expensive kitchen gadgets, electronics, even furniture. She said, since we bought them as a couple, she was entitled to half. I told her to put everything back. She flipped out, accusing me of being selfish, saying she deserved to take whatever she wanted because she'd put up with me for 3 years. It was unbelievable. The entitlement was unreal. I told her if she wanted to settle things, we could do it through legal means. She stormed out, furious, but I wasn't budging. Then she hit me with another stunt. She sent me an invoice for $5,000, claiming it was for wedding expenses she'd already paid for. Non-refundable, of course. But here's the thing. I knew she hadn't paid a single cent. I'd handled all the payments myself. It was just another attempt to squeeze more money out of me. I texted her back, saying, if you think I owe you anything, take me to court. I never heard about it again. She knew she had nothing. Her final move was the dirtiest. She went to my parents, trying to tell them I had been unfaithful. She spun this whole story about how I had driven her back into Jay's arms, trying to turn my family against me. But luckily, I'd already told them everything. My parents weren't buying it, and when I sent them the screenshots of her emails with Jay, that was the end of that. After that, she stopped trying to contact me. I blocked her everywhere, took some legal steps to protect myself, and finally started moving on. Looking back, the whole thing was insane. But I learned a lot. Some people, when faced with their own mistakes, will double down, shift the blame, and feel entitled to everything, even what isn't theirs. They'll pull every trick to get what they want, and if you let them, they'll keep taking. So yeah, if you're ever in a situation where someone's trying to test your boundaries, don't budge. Set them, hold them, and walk away if you need to. Trust me, it's worth it. And hey, if you made it to the end, hit subscribe, because with my luck, who knows what kind of crap's coming next.